right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of... Ah! He's melting! Oh, jeez. No! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Scott, this stuff's perfect for fall, right?
Yep, it feeds your lawn now to strengthen roots all winter for a better lawn next spring.
How do you know all this?
Says it right there on the back.
Yes, it does.
Download the MyLawn app today for lawn beef.
It's Reef, mate.
Why would you say that?
Great Barrier Eats, now at Outback.
Our Friday night receiver, Micah Pittman, who at the age of 18 was surprised by his mom with a trip on a cruise. That trip opened his eyes to travel more and see the world. As a result, Micah thought, what a better way to see new places than be a pilot. He decided to go all in and work towards his private pilot license. He spends, on average, 14 hours a week in the air and extensive time studying towards obtaining a commercial license and being a certified flight instructor. Micah told me he's landed a plane over 500 times and has developed a great appreciation for freedom. When he's in the air, he soaks it all in and captures the beauty of the environment.
I want him on my flights, just in case we need him.
Comes from a big football family. Older brother plays for the Colts. An outstanding wide receiver, big return here. Big hit at the end of the play. Parker Lewis, the kicker, delivering the blow to Money Parks.
Parker Lewis kind of had to act like you've been there before you get a flag thrown on you.
It's kind of hard. That's kind of hard for a kicker.
Yeah, but you got to reel it in, man. He's turning, facing the bench, all of what would normally get him a flag thrown.
Utah's going to stick with Cam Rising. First game back after missing 3 with an injury to his throwing hand. 2 for 9, 11 yards. Took a big hit early to the lower body. Utah has been stagnant on offense. Mekhi Bernard. And right now, Arizona State, Andre, just not respecting the pass like you normally would with a healthy and able Cam Rising.
Yeah, they see that he's not 100%. You can count the guys in the box, 7, 8, and playing man-to-man behind him. And that calls for Cam Rising to be accurate with the football. Unless somebody falls down or slips in coverage and gets themselves wide open, he's just not being able to, hadn't been able to deliver the ball yet.
The Utes are averaging less than 3 yards per play, and they get only 2 there. It brings up 3rd down and 6. LT Welch coming up from his corner position to make the tackle.
And this is when, if I'm Arizona State, I'm bringing pressure. Force him to move, get him off his launching point, and get the ball out of his hands a little bit before he's ready to deliver it.
Arizona State doing all this without 2 of its best defensive players. Clayton Smith and Keyshawn Elliott will return in the second half after a targeting call.
You mean they get better?
They'll get better. They got suspended for targeting in the second half of Kansas, and by rule have to sit out the first half of this game. There is Bernard out of the backfield, and a little check down swing pass, able to move the chains, and maybe that gets Cam Rising into a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, you allow him to sit there. He doesn't have to rush. Just 4 rushers right there. And you got coverage behind it. An experienced quarterback like Cam Rising is going to figure it out if you don't bring pressure on it. Does a nice job of checking it down to Micah Bernard, and they pick up the first down and move the chains. But if you don't bring pressure and force him to get rid of the ball sooner, he can still hurt you.
Mekhi Bernard again, big hole, stays on his feet, zigzagging, and brings it inside the 35 of Arizona State, a pickup of 20.
Boy, that's huge. Nice job of blocking up front and finding holes behind his behind big Keefe, the tight end, Brent Keefe, and then Bentley as well. They do a nice job of pulling offensive linemen around. Bernard is just, he's a pretty good, he's a pretty good back. He's playing at a very, very high level.
And Keithy, the tight end, tore his ACL on this field 2 years ago. Missed all of last season. There's Bernard. Arizona State penetrates. No gain. Zach Swanson. They really feel this D-line night and day from a season ago.
Man, they got depth. C.J. Fight and Jeff Clark inside at defensive tackles. You mentioned getting Clayton Smith back in the second half. Dorba has gotten to Cam Rising. We've got a couple of pretty good linebackers to round out this front seven defensively for Arizona State.
Pressure. That's Keithy. Seventh-year senior to seventh-year senior. 38 consecutive games with a catch is Brant Kuithe. That leads the FBS for tight ends with that string of catches. Looked on ball, a little low, but still in the breadbasket of Kuithe. So maybe Rising, that ankle starting to feel a little bit better. In the red zone this season, Utah scored a touchdown on just 11.
President.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
I cannot in good conscience endorse Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's former highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. We don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is too big a risk for America.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
The future is threatened by enemies often unpredictable. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Today's biggest feat wasn't making costumes for the school play or locking in an appointment and actually getting there with time to spare. It was the fact that the Silvas went 4 for 4 on getting all their flu shots with no tears. Bravery rewarded. When it's time for vaccines, it's time for CVS.
Ally helps millions spend smarter and save more for the things that matter most to them. That's why we're the bank that's your ally.
First ever Monday Night Football game exclusively on ESPN Plus had this bad boy custom made for this exact moment. Bolts cards in prime time. Who's got it better than me? Nobody!
We've got one hell of a race here in Texas. If I fall.
The weekend menu is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. What is at the top of your viewing list here, Andre?
Oh boy, I gotta go Texas OU. And then followed by a late one with Colorado, Kansas State.
Alabama coming off the loss to Vandy.
No, don't sleep on that Vandy-Kentucky game.
You know what, though? Doesn't that feel, as we get a flag, doesn't that feel as the ultimate hangover game?
Number 8.
They were marching the goalpost down Broadway.
Like Kentucky does work this week. I could see that happening.
They're not sneaking up on Kentucky this week.
There's no doubt about it. None.
And it becomes one of those old coaching adages. How do you handle success? And everybody's singing your praises. Jeff Sims, the backup quarterback, is in.
A lot of season left to be played for the Doors.
They've been pretty good this year.
Yes,
Almost upset
they have.
Missouri, beat Virginia Tech.
I'm just saying, you can't go celebrate that win over Alabama as if the season's over.
Gentlemen, Sam Levitt is in the locker room, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain in that midsection area. He was holding it, had a towel over his head. This kid is tough as nails and played a lot of defense growing up. His father, Jared, was a linebacker at BYU. His brother, Dallin, is a safety right now with the Green Bay Packers, and he told me he loves the physical aspect of football and has to learn how to slide a little bit more. But, Andre, that play wasn't the type of play. It looked like a busted play where he didn't even have an opportunity to slide. But he's in the locker room. I'll give you updates in a bit.
Meanwhile, Sims, a veteran quarterback who's played a lot of football, gives Arizona State some breathing room. It's Tyson with another catch. 4 catches, 62 yards in the half.
It's, if you want success, you've got to have an experienced backup. You don't normally get that in today's transfer portal world, but Jeff Sims is the right answer. If you got to go with someone, and Sam Levitt's in the locker room, as Clark just told us, Jeff Sims, pretty good option to go to.
Coaches will tell you quarterback depth in this day and age, maybe the hardest position to find it. If you have it, it doesn't last long. Scattaboo fights his way to the 29th. Andre, if you look at the top quarterback rankings on the ESPN 300, go back a few years, you would be shocked how many of those top 10, top 20 quarterbacks
have transferred,
end up at a different school. More than half.
I believe it. I can believe that.
Think of all the Heisman Trophy winners who've transferred, right? Kyler Murray was a transfer. You have guys like Baker Mayfield. Jaden Daniels. I mean, in the last 10 years, how many Heisman Trophy winners were transfers?
To Carlos Brooks, picking up 3. Brooks, a former Cal Bear transfer, but he's from Chandler, Arizona, nearby, and his high school coach was Sean Aguano, who's now his running backs coach at Arizona State. And Aguano, if you remember, a couple of years ago was the interim head coach at Arizona State.
2-minute timeout.
We come to the 2-minute timeout. Sun Devils with the ball and the lead. It's 3rd and 4.
This is nice. I'm a little nervous to try Blue Cruise for the first time.
Go ahead and hit the cruise control button.
Okay, Sakai, just let go. No, I'm supposed to, okay. See the steering wheel moving. Don't touch any. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. This is very nice. It's driving! Ooh! I can't wait to tell my mom about this.
Tastes better with $1 for Daisy. Do $1, yeah. Everything tastes better with $1 for Daisy.
Will you?
What did you do?
I got a little design help.
I'm in sweats, Derek. It's perfect. And I'm in sweatpants.
Karen's about to retire. Here's what's going into her retirement.
There's us. She raised us on our own.
10 years as my roller derby wife.
3 schools she's opened.
She's a mother.
I think we turned out all right.
She's a friend.
Our mothers could tell stories.
She's a teacher.
She may be retiring, but she's not done.
I'm never gonna stop. Retirement is the sum of your life's work. Now what? Get income for life and protect your life's work with Prudential.
What's that?
That's the Taco Bell Cantina chicken.
Okay, well, please tell me you're using a condiment.
Yeah, avocado verde salsa.
Oh, we believe in mayo. This is how we chicken in this house.
I don't see a pickle on it.
Maybe we don't want a pickle on it.
Okay, all right.
Traditionalists. They're in every family.
Dad, please.
Sometimes common ground is just one bite away.
What?
I can feel again. Hey.
That's not a sound for the dining room.
You can't see the over $400 billion we invested in our network, but you rely on it every day. You can't see the nearly 2.5 million connected businesses, but they fuel growth. And you can't see the interconnectivity of 28,000 public safety teams, but they protect us. You can't see it, but for 148 years, AT&T has proudly connected Americans.
Open the gates.
Let game day begin!
Grab a Pepsi and make your game day epic.
Hey, I'm Zupa Bahenti. Coming up at the half, Dan and Joey will join me. We'll talk the ceiling for both of these teams. Anish, you mentioned they're both 4-1. I don't think many people expected that heading into tonight. Dan will also talk about his biggest takeaway from the most unpredictable league in America, the league we're watching here right now. And Quinn back just in time for the Red River Rivalry SEC edition. Anish, Heisman, it's all yours.
How's Joey's golf game these days?
We got some courses for him here in the desert.
Right.
Sims on the move and fires incomplete. It's 4th down. Now the Big 12, we said it at the top of the broadcast, topsy-turvy, unpredictable. And Andre, this game a season ago between these two teams in the Pac-12, Utah won 55-3.
Yeah, well, it's been defense tonight and kind of a throwback game to defense and toughness. That's why we are so close in this one as we tick towards halftime.
Dorian Singer to field the punt by Canyon Floyd, aptly named for a Sun Devils punter. Fair catch, made at the 28. Your NFL Sunday starts at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN. All the late-breaking stories from Shefty, plus injury updates and previews of each game right up to kickoff. We're going to see a rookie get his first NFL start on Sunday. Spencer Rattler, former Oklahoma Sooner and South Carolina Gamecock, will start for the injured Derek Carr for the Saints.
The same thing happening in New England. The Patriots against the Texans.
Drake May.
Drake May getting his first start.
And we'll make the easy trip from Tempe to Foxborough.
Easy trip.
Cam Rising still in there. Another low throw. It's incomplete. You brought it.
These mushrooms make you feel better. Like a lot better. And these mushrooms make you feel better by keeping you calm and helping you focus. They keep you stress-free, but sharp enough to get things done. These mushrooms help reduce bloat and improve your digestion, so you can trust your gut instead of worrying about it. These mushrooms make you feel better. They boost your energy so you can embrace the day and help ease the aches and pains so you can get up and do it again tomorrow. So to recap, these mushrooms keep you healthy and energized, help your gut feel better and sharpen your focus while remaining calm. Oh, and by the way, they taste good too. Whew. Someone should make a coffee out of this stuff. Rise. Feel better.
So by rules, Simmons has to come out for a play. Arizona State has one timeout.
But to go back to your point, he's on his left foot, can't really drive or push off the right. So everything is coming from over the top and diving down. And it's what happens when you have bad footwork. And it's all coming from his lower body.
Monty Parks, the motion man. Sun Devils bring 4 on a twist. That one sails over Keithy. If you're the Sun Devils, I know there's not a lot of time left in the half. Do you bring pressure?
I would heat the kitchen up against Cam Rising, especially on long downs like second and long, third and long. I'd bring pressure because right there, even with time, he's showing you that the accuracy's just not there because he's basically playing on one leg.
Which makes you wonder, why hasn't Utah gone to Isaac Wilson?
I just think it's a trust issue. You talk about 7 interceptions, and watching the film, it could have been a lot more than 7.
Here comes the blitz. Rising, able to complete. There is Micah Pittman. He gets out of bounds right at the sticks. First down for Utah. And 103 left.
When you bring the blitz, now you play tight man and not allow guys to come wide open like Pittman. Because, yeah, he's going to hit some of them. You just hope that you get in his face long enough where you blind him and he can't escape.
We mentioned his older brother, a receiver for the Colts, Michael Pittman Jr. Dad, Michael, more than a decade in the league as a physical running back. Utah's got all 3 timeouts. Rising back to the air. Throws to the outside. Again for Keithy.
Even the completion to Pittman was, at his waist, thigh high or so. So it's just been tough. He is a tough, gritty competitor, and he is not going to exit this game unless the coaches pull him out. He's not going to go and say, hey, I don't have it tonight. He's going to try to grind through it and push his team towards a win.
Number 11, Isaac Wilson, started the last 3 games. On second down, Rising downfield. Miscommunication with his wide receiver, and it brings up 3rd down.
It's Singer who pulled up. He turned outside. Rising thought he was going to go ahead and run the fade, and that's the tight man-to-man coverage that when you blitz, that's what you want to see on the back end. Guys right in the neighborhood, because if the ball's thrown low or inaccurately, then you've got a chance for an interception. He's already thrown 1 tonight.
Let's see if the Sun Devils bring pressure, showing
coming.
blitz.
They are coming.
Play clock down to 3. Here comes the blitz off the edge, Rising down the sideline. It's caught all the way inside the 15. Dorian Singer fighting for the extra yards, and a flag at the very end of the play.
A heck of a throw there by Rising. He just loads up. It's still underthrown, and if you're throwing that as a fade stop to Singer, you're going to throw it outside and away from coverage, but he has to break off his route, come inside to track the ball. That's just a great athletic play on the part of Dorian Singer.
Longest play from scrimmage for Utah tonight.
Personal foul on personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 4, the defense. Foul will be foul, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
It's Miles Rouser.
Yeah. Team's leader in tackles, physical player. He's good in coverage, but what, they gave up a big one there right before the half, because scoring here for Utah puts them right back in this thing with Arizona State getting the ball out of halftime.
They've got 3 timeouts. They could have run it. Rising held on to it too long, and he is sacked by Prince Dorba. And Utah has to burn a timeout.
Dorba, the transfer from Texas.
First charge, timeout at half. Utah.
Heck of a job off the edge tonight. That young man's playing some football in this desert heat.
Well, Andre, Utah's had opportunities tonight. 4 trips inside the Arizona State 30. 2 field goals, and then a red zone interception.
Yeah, and they just seem to buckle up when they're down here.
Arizona State will get the ball first to begin the 3rd quarter. And we talk time of possession. Utah normally dominates that statistic. Number 2 nationally entering tonight. Arizona State has had the ball for 3 more minutes.
Rising's a competitor, isn't he? I'm able to really drive the football, but he's finding ways to get it done. I think they're drawing up. Something to get these big tight ends involved. Keithy with his 38th game in a row with a catch.
Rising goes wide.
Keithy's taking the snap.
Take the snap. He's got a few rushing touchdowns to his name. Arizona State all over it. And he is gang tackled. Kyle Whittingham running onto the field to call a timeout and brings up 3rd down.
I question in the coaching of who carries it, who doesn't, but you got a pretty good running back in Micah Bernard. I don't know that a
second charge, timeout and a half.
Long tight end like that.
30 seconds.
That's your best option going between the tackles.
From the 12-yard line.
Yeah, exactly.
Keithy has 5 rushing touchdowns, which is the most among FBS tight ends. And again, the inability to finish drives, that was an issue in their loss to Arizona. It's reared its head a few times this season.
They certainly did in their last game, as you mentioned, against the Wildcats.
Utah's coming off a bye. Arizona State played Saturday night against Kansas.
Sometimes, you know, I never liked bye weeks, because when you get in a rhythm of playing every week, and all of a sudden now you got to sit and you're watching everybody, you want to play, and sometimes just that bye week throws you off. It's good for getting healthy, or getting yourself back healthy.
We got a timeout before the snap. You saw Utah go empty. Arizona State did not like the defensive alignment. And Kenny Dillingham with 31 seconds uses his final timeout.
They didn't like it because Singer was wide open in the slot. And so luckily, Kenny Dillingham was able to get a timeout call before the ball was snapped.
If you're Arizona State, you hold Utah to 3 here.
Full timeout.
You not only get the ball to begin the second half, you also get 2 key players back on defense, Clayton Smith and Keyshawn Elliott.
2 playmakers. Elliott is a sideline-to-sideline linebacker. Makes all the calls and gets everyone lined up. And then you're talking about a heck of a pass rusher in Clayton Smith. He played at 2 schools that are going to play one another tomorrow. Texas and OU, before making his way to the desert to Arizona State.
Smith with 4 sacks entering tonight, which is good for 2nd in the Big 12, behind only Utah's Van Fillinger. But Dorba's done a nice job. He wasn't healthy the first month. Elijah O'Neal at the other end. We've called Jeff Clark's name a few times on the interior, big number 5.
Clayton Smith caught a pass last week, for a first down in their game against Kansas.
3rd down, goal to go. Rising, hit toward the end zone. Incomplete, broken up. It's 4th down.
He took a
Keith
shot.
Abney with the play defensively for Arizona State.
But Rising took a shot. And inside, I think it was C.J. Fight who got through. He is a really, really good defensive tackle that can pass rush. And so you start getting that pressure from your face or the interior portion of your offensive line, man, that can get frustrating.
Fight, a true sophomore, the anchor of that D-line. And we've got a field goal attempt from Becker. This one from 29. It's good, his 3rd field goal of the first half. And it makes the score 13-9. This season, All-State celebrates every field goal and extra point made with a donation to the participating university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. Well, imitation is the best form of flattery. Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham told us they wanted to be a team and eventually a program that mirrors what Kyle Whittingham has done at Utah. Play smart, physical, tough. They've done that for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they really have. And You know, they're going to get the ball first out of the locker room. I'd imagine they want to just sit on this thing and get to the locker room and to halftime. But they have more than, you know, made me a believer in their toughness and in the direction in which this program is headed.
A couple of things to watch in the second half for both teams. The quarterback situation. Does Utah bring Cam Rising back out there in the third quarter, or do they go with Isaac Wilson? And again, the status of Sam Levitt, who left the game and went to the locker room, the starting QB for Arizona State. And Jeff Sims came in, and Sims is...
Attention gamers! Easily capture and share your gaming highlights with Outplayed. Outplayed is simple and powerful. It runs in the background, automatically capturing your epic play.
This bounce, Arizona State ball from the 25, and they will likely take a knee.
You don't see that much. A team winning the time of possession battle against Utah.
Now look who's back in the huddle for Arizona State as you see the time of possession numbers. It's Sam Levitt.
Didn't have to come out, just letting the crowd know, hey, I'll be ready for the second half. And as well, you don't like giving the backup very many snaps. You may change their mind and keep him in there or something.
Spoken like somebody who got pulled from too many games because he scored too many points.
It's good to see that young man back.
Impressive first half defensively for Arizona State. Utah got inside the